And we're back in there for another exciting episode of Super Desperation Radio, number 245, 245 episodes, first new episode of the new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes,
Happy New Year, Chris.
Yeah, it was a. How'd you guys, enjoy the ushering out of 2013?
I was really glad to see 2013 go. not gonna lie at all.
Not your favorite year?
Not a banner year for me. Not a banner year for people I know either. So,
Yeah.
Went okay.
wasn't sad to see it go. Happy to see it gone. Bring on 2014, please.
What about the rest of you guys? How did you enjoy your end of the year, Tony?
It was pretty good. Just chilling at home, actually, and then, well, because I came out to the Bay to see my brother, and then I went home and we did the show, and then I'm back out in the Bay. So, it's been good. I've just been seeing family and hanging out. It's been nice, peaceful.
Nice and solid. And I guess I would need to ask what you were doing, Gibby.
Man, I was downstairs drinking tea, eating cheese, and then people were blowing things up outside. It's ruined everything for me.
Yeah, I've never really understood why, New Year's is a fireworks, kind of holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I figured get it all out during 4th of July.
I'm gonna be honest. I knew it was New Year's going into it, but as I'm sitting there, it's nice, quiet. I'm eating, drinking, and all of a sudden, boom, boom! I'm like, what the hell are these? What are these noises? What the hell are people doing? Come back upstairs. Oh, it's 12:03. Oh yeah.
Any excuse to blow something up.
Yeah.
Shake.
Ain't that the truth?
But as it is the beginning of 2014, as it is also the beginning of our much beloved tournament season, we've already got some SoCal regionals announced with a ridiculous game lineup that should be either really fun or a clusterfuck, which is also could be fun.
I don't know.
It could go either way right there on that one.
Yeah.
Depends on how much you enjoy clusters.
That's true.
And we also had UFGT drop today, right?
Announced,
well, yeah, it got announced when we got the official game list over the weekend.
The game list, yeah.
So, notable by its lack, of course, or absence, is Super Turbo. But honestly, the Midwest scene has been skewing a little bit more toward Vampire Savior, and the guys at Arcade Legacy always make that an amazing tournament, and those guys are really good. I played that tournament last year, and I was really, really sad that I did, because I walked away going, wow, I don't know how to play this game at all. So, those guys are really good. The other thing, of course, that's the big one, is the Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom X.
Yeah,
which is basically the band tournament a lot of people were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, what was that, 2 months ago?
For the past year.
So.
All right, now I know nothing about this. What does the X imply?
The X, I guess, is just the X factor of you get to choose one character that you are banning. And you hold that ban with you for your pool. So you basically say, before your pool starts, I'm banning this. Then everybody's chosen ban character is made a list, and all those characters are not playable.
Wow.
So this is going to be the first tournament with no Virgil.
You think that?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying to myself. We won't have Virgil. Oh, no, never mind. Someone's not going to ban him. Or players may not ban him.
Now, is this a vote thing, or is one guy says it and you just got to roll with it?
Yeah, just when you register, you say, I'm banning Rocket Raccoon.
But does that mean it's only for your matches, or does that mean for the entire pool?
Yeah, it's for your entire 16-man pool.
So one guy can affect the outcome of an entire pool.
Yeah, and each time you advance to the next level of the bracket, that list keeps getting remade.
Mm-hmm.
So you carry that with you beyond pools.
Now, that's pretty neat, because especially for someone like Hanzo Gonzo, he's probably the person I know that knows the most Marvel players out there. He can size up his pool if he was to go and play or whatever, and probably easily eliminate just the majority of these people play this character really well. You're out,
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to do it seeing your pool. I think it's going to have to be done beforehand, before you even know who's in your pool. So I think you have to just sort of take the gamble of what you don't like to play against on average, or what you know you don't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to play with like 6 decks in the hand. All right.
So everybody's like, just in case they don't know if like Chris G's in their pool, they just say either Morgan or Doom is banned.
Yeah.
What if you have overlapping bans? Is there none?
Well, that's the thing, is if there are overlapping bans, that just counts for one. That means, somebody ended up wasting a ban.
Dang. So you got to be smart about this.
So you could end up with a pool, conceivably, that everybody only chose to ban Virgil. It's the only character removed. Yeah. Honestly, it's a really cool idea, and it's way better than the ideas a lot of people were throwing around for banning characters in Marvel earlier this year.
I gotta say, yeah, like the whole draft thing, I'm like, that's kind of okay, but there's so much more to it, and like, obviously people get way more hindered because they only know one team, and you can just target like draft picks and stuff like that, and other people, I mean, granted, you are more rewarded for learning the game on more of its ins and outs of characters, but it's just that seemed weird, and especially it also seemed like it would take way too long on a case-by-case basis to be like, oh, here's my bans and here's my picks and all that.
Yeah, if you had to do League or Dota style bans before every match, I think that would just take forever.
Yeah. But this actually sounds, fairly streamlined and intuitive.
Yeah, and I think what it does is that it provides people this outlet for trying something new with Marvel, especially for people who are frustrated with normal tournament play. But it's not trying to supplant Marvel as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that's totally nice, and I think that's a great alternative for people to switch up the experience. And you might actually see some really interesting teams win. Mm-hmm. Maybe. I mean, maybe you might just see somebody luck out and get the team they always play. And hey, that's luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I remember we entertained something like this during when KOF was quote-unquote popular. The ratio tournaments where you had to pick your teams based on where they were based on popularity versus power ranking, and so that really got us to use characters that we normally don't. Well, not me, because my team fit perfectly into the ratio, so I won all those tournaments. But that's really cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, and I do think this is actually going to be perfect for players and spectators, because players get to see different characters, fight against different characters, and are maybe forced to use different characters, and spectators like, hey, no certain character that I see all the damn time, no same team, and all that crap. It's gonna be good. I really want to watch it.
I think it might actually encourage certain players to come up with a new team just for the event, where they know that their character will never be banned, so they don't have to switch. Right. You might see some really creative stuff come out of this. I think that would be, ideally at least. You never know.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was to play in the tournament, I would totally just kind of throw out like one of those good characters that nobody plays. Like, I'd be like, or people play him, but not nearly as much as you'd see. And I'd be like, I ban Viper, and be like, just to screw people over, just to see if someone will get upset with my ban.
I ban Trish.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not gonna win, but I'll be like, yeah, just ban something like that. I'm sorry, but Rocket Raccoon's gotta go.
See, I do feel like Virgil's going to be one of the most banned characters, because even though you don't necessarily see a lot of teams around Virgil, he's almost in every other team. Yeah. So it's like, well, guess what? You got to find a new anchor, buddy.
Whoa, hold on. What if it so happens that everyone thinks they're going to waste their vote on Virgil because the other guy's going to vote Virgil?
Oh, the classic problem, the prisoner's dilemma on Virgil.
Yeah. Why should I vote? It doesn't look like it matters anyway, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you're going to waste your vote, and suddenly 16 people have banned Virgil.
But then what if they don't? And so Virgil's still good to go, and you've banned like a bunch of other characters that nobody even plays in your pool, and you're just like, you're screwed.
Yep. It's going to create an interesting small meta game for people to coming into this tournament.
Well, I think it's cool because it's actually going to force people to actually play the game versus playing the characters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wonder how many Phoenix bans there will be, because people might just have that knee-jerk reaction still.
Well, yeah, some people still have a real big problem with that character.
Yeah.
Well, she is still strong. I mean, whenever Dark Phoenix is on screen, you're pretty much just like, your odds of surviving are 9 and 10. You know?
Oh, you know what would be a good ban too? Spencer. That's one of those guys.
That's another character.
That's a comeback character right there. He's the one-man team.
You know what the smart man is? Iron Fist.
Just
that's
for
it.
Justin?
That's
Yeah,
smart.
Does that
That's not
want to be that asshole?
No, that's Justin's alternate team. He's got Iron Fist in that team.
I think he made a tweet earlier
Think
about
about
how, like, somebody's going to ban Iron Fist, and he's going to be really upset if they do.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
No, he's just conditioning his opponent already. He's got the Wong factor instilled. I hope nobody bans Iron Fist. I'm gonna be so mad. And then he's gonna have Storm, Akuma, and who else does he play? I forget.
This Iron Fist ban is making me so salty.
No, here's the thing. Wow. There's no way Akuma's going through. There's no way Wolverine was going through. Storm, I can see going through.
Yeah.
But if you take Iron Fist away from him, that's the smart man's choice.
Well, that's actually that's true, because, like, if you end up losing the Iron Fist because you didn't ban him, you're just going to be like, fuck, I can't play this game anymore, it's embarrassing. So you almost want to do that to avoid the inevitable outcome that you lose to Justin Wong's Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, that someone in the chat also brings up a good point. What about people, sitting on those pocket Iron Man or Jill, like, now it's my time to shine.
I've been waiting 2 years for this.
All of a sudden, you're gonna see just like Deadpool-based teams winning.
Yeah.
I've been sitting on this teleportation combo for 2 years.
You know where the real money is? Is all the people that have had that pocket Ghost Rider.
Oh, God.
Because as soon as you take away the top tier out of that game, that character becomes ridiculous. It's like, all right, Morrigan's not going to be there to stay at the top of the screen and throw crap at me. Magneto's not going to be there to outrange me with EM disruptors and just fly around throwing magnetic blasts. And everyone else just has to put up with the fact that he has a 3/4 of the screen snapback that can stop swords just in case Virgil gets through.
That's true.
Like, that character's dumb if he's not put in check. And if
Yeah.
you take all the characters that put him in check out of the game, he is now king shit.
King of Shit Mountain. Well, what's great about this? You mentioned Hanzo Gonzo earlier, and this is going to be a great boon for his YouTube channel, because all those tutorials about all those characters that nobody plays are just about to experience maximum hits. Like, all those you see all those front page videos on SRK, right? Where they have like all these like character tutorials where like nobody gives a fuck. They're like, oh, that's cool. Ghost Rider does damage. That's great. Not gonna play them. Now they're gonna be hitting it up pretty hard.
Yeah, shameless plug, Waste of Flesh on YouTube. Go check out his videos.
Yeah, man. If you're going to UFGT and you don't know how to play anybody other than your team, Hanzo Gonzo's your man.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about
UFGT
this
again this year. It should be tight. What?
I've been thinking about this the whole time. I was like, man, if ever there was a time to have kept up with my crappy Marvel team of Ghost Rider Chris Wesker.
Oh man, Chris actually would be pretty good too.
No, Chris is another one of those characters where it's like, oh, Magneto's out there to keep me in check. Time to be a jackass.
You thought you had projectile durability, well now you're wrong.
Now,
I got a Magnum, and it don't run out of bullets.
Now, see, here's the thing, too, is that we're talking about characters that are really common on the West Coast, and what you got to remember is that the Midwest has some weird teams.
Oh, that's true.
So I do think that there will be people who ban Wesker, because Wesker still happens a lot out there. He's not huge, but he does exist. Magneto, yeah, like you said, Magneto's probably not going to make it. Somebody will probably ban that character.
You know who I think is going to be a character that's going to slip through, because it's going to slip everyone's mind?
Who?
Dormammu.
Oh
Yeah?
They won't be thinking about that, but he's gonna be like the kind of guy to just walk in and just start eating your fucking leftovers and just sit on your couch. He's like make himself home.
Like, when it comes to good characters, nobody remembers like, oh yeah, that dude's Dormammu comeback. It's just like, oh, that guy just dormamated with Don.
Yeah. I don't feel like a lot of people actually give Dormammu as much credit for just being a complete game winner as a lot of other characters, because people complain about Virgil, people complain about this character, that character. You never hear somebody be like, man, I straight just lost to Dormammu, man, he was just hitting buttons, I didn't know what I could do. But I mean, that's a character that will ruin your life.
Right.
Yeah, I bet even like MODOK, that's actually a really good character, I mean, not like the best or anything, but I see people do work with him. He's gonna be someone who's like, I'm just gonna kick back, sit here, throw shit, and if you got hit, well, prepare
Hang on,
to
my
get
lazy boy.
Yeah. That dude's already reclining, dude. He's there.
He's already ready.
Yo, he's cozy, dude. He is cozy.
So, and this brings up an interesting point, too. you could do this for other games. KOF 13 with a ban option for pool play would really make some people cry, I think.
Yeah.
Because there are so many teams that still crutch on one character.
It's not that so many teams crutch on one character. It's so many players rely on that one character.
And we all know who that character is.
I mean, I have a couple, actually.
Well, like, by and large, the American secret weapon is Shenwu.
Yeah.
But Shenwu is friend to children everywhere.
Yeah. Shen loved the kids, man.
Yeah.
Shen loved the kids. You know, bending them over the knee.
He's just always trying to give you a fist bump, but you're just never ready.
Mm-hmm. It would seriously would see. It would be bands of Karate, Shen, Kim, Hua, and EX, Iori, EX, Kyo.
Takuma probably as well, not just Karate.
Yeah, I could see that.
See,
I'd be the guy to throw Yuri into the mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say Yuri would be the smartest band of all.
Yeah, probably.
It's like, Ryokan loop, butt loop, okay, yeah, do all this silliness.
Right, and that's something that that's one of those characters that a lot of people be like, oh, I heard Yuri's good, and you've seen Yuri do work and the kind of dumb stuff you can do, but a lot of people still kind of space on that because they're still thinking Hua, Kim, Karate, fucking Shenwu, Benimaru, and they just totally gloss over Yuri, and so if somebody forgot to ban Yuri, that guy's probably going to run through everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know he's gonna run through people.
We're basically trying to fuck romance.
No. Everyone's just gonna go to their pocket vice.
Oh my god!
Jump City, Hop City, Jump City.
I wish everybody had I wish there was a pocket vice in the Midwest, and everybody just got to see how dumb that character is, man. It's like, what? You swept me, and you had meter and HD? What kind of game is this?
No, dude, did you ever see the best one where it turns out she can do it to Chin and Athena off a throw?
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool.
Oh,
that shit's so tight. It's like, oh, did I grab you? Well, you're dead.
Oh, yeah, Chin's another character I completely forgot about, but he's not as much of a problem because not that many people play Chin.
Not a lot of people play Chin. And then, like, there's some...
But those are the guys who are going to sweep through, man. You're going to sneak through the cracks.
The ones that actually don't drop the combo. Because everything else there is pretty much autopilot.
But yeah, I think it's just an interesting thing to think that Marvel's getting this right now, and back when we were talking about ways to maybe change up how KOF 13 is played, that this probably would have been a pretty decent solution had somebody actually gone out of their way and, thought about it. But,
it doesn't happen. Instead, we got a ratio system which lasted for about 2 weeks.
Well, it was just mostly for fun. I don't think anybody did that to like really learn the game as much as they were just like, oh, we don't want to see another grand finals with Benny, Shen, Hua, and Karate.
The point of the ratio system was to promote character variety, but that didn't really work out too well.
Yeah, because then we found out all the other characters were stupid too.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that anybody could agree with what value characters should have.
That's
Remember one of the initial lists had like Yuri somewhere in the middle?
Yeah. It's like 2, 3,
Yeah,
and that
Takuma's a 5.
And that honestly is what the benefit for Keats doing this at his tournament is that he doesn't have to take this into consideration. He's just, nope, this is my rules. You deal with it.
Yeah.
No,
that's just great because then you don't have to take the. You don't really have to let people vote on it.
Yeah.
But then the thing too is if they don't like it, they don't have to play, and then it's only around for one tournament. For now, maybe it'll catch on.
What do you mean? If they don't like it, they not only do they not have to play, all they're going to do is complain about it.
Then they can just play normal Marvel 3 and get hit by X-Factor level 3 Virgil all day.
I think, Paul, what you meant to say is I think they can get bent.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I just
I hate this rule set. I'm going to play regular Marvel 3, and then they get hit with the mix-up, and they're just sitting there, and a single tear rolls down their cheek. Like, that's what I wanted. I wanted
to just not play this game. It's awesome.
Thank God.
Best
God
side
bless
tournament
America.
ever.
Just salutes as he's getting lightning looped.
I like the idea that he's doing because it sounds like he's actually trying to make the tournament fun versus like trying to give somebody some money. It's just going to be a very new and exciting thing for everybody, and that's something you can't dispute. It's definitely going to have everybody watching it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing about UFGT. People complain about it, but it's a tournament that anyone can go to and just enjoy themselves at. It just sounds like, I haven't been to one, but it just sounds like a really fun place to go. It's like there's a bunch of side things to do, and then there's the most popular thing ever, the mystery game tournament.
Oh,
which
oh
I
my
mean,
know it's funny, Gibby, because it sounds like you've just been ducking your
Oh.
UFGT for every year.
I mean, this has been brought up many times that I'm ducking UFGT in final round, but I don't know,
Might
man.
even be Duck Dodgers at this point.
But
Yo,
about
man.
24th and a half century.
King of the Duck Dynasty?
Yeah, you are Duck Dynasty.
Nobody wants to be that.
So I might have gotten a message saying that a Mr. Manchester might be in fact massively ducking one Mr. Keats at a particular game known as Breakers.
Oh, what? Man, okay. Well, I'm not going to say if I do go. This has to happen at Evo because I know I'm not going to UFGT. I'm broke. But if I do go and I do play Mr. Keats, Mr. Hart, if I do play him, he can see my Ryla with his Alcyon. We could do this. We could do this. I will take your Egyptian god and I will bury him again.
No.
Man, I've seen
I
you
used to-
guys
I used to
together
love
in multiple
playing
tournaments.
Keats
You
back
never
in the
played.
day.
You are just ducking more than Dudley in Street Fighter 3, man.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Keats used to play the crap out of Breakers and World Heroes Perfect. And then he moved on to Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and he left all his SNK people behind.
Oh,
God damn it, Keats.
that's something about you SNK players, man.
But
Like,
yeah.
all right, so Gibby doesn't duck anybody. I can vouch for that. Gibby might duck Keats because he's definitely been in the room with him and they haven't done anything. But there's definitely been a steady amount of SNK players that duck Gibby. Like, we go to Evo and these people say they want to play him in Mark of the Wolves, and it's just like, well, where are you at? He ain't doing nothing all day. We got the setup right here. Nobody shows up except for Deli.
Yeah, Deli.
Deli. Yeah.
Well, and Humbag showed up.
Humbag shows up.
For the first, he actually played me for the first time in, I want to say, 5-6 years of telling me he could whoop me, and then
Did he get put away?
Man.
yeah, you were kind of there.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's after I put him away in Dirt Strike.
Yep.
He
got him on the double header.
he got shipped out priority mail.
Right.
I think the best part about Humbag was just like afterwards he's like, I haven't played this in forever. Also, I'm drunk. And I was like, you know
And
what?
that's just not a fair comment because like Chris Hell Pockets,
Oh, God.
he's always drunk.
Yes,
You can't take that away from the skill anymore at that point.
Well, I
Drunk
think
right
his
now.
his actual excuse, it was a laggy setup because it was played off a less than stellar laptop.
That's true.
But that was fine. I did enjoy my one exchange I had with the one guy that was there because I can't remember his name, and I think I'm supposed to know who he is, but he was the Ibuki guy, where he was like, I can't play this, it's underwater. I was like, dude, I'm underwater with you, except I'm breathing.
I got these gills, son.
Got the gills to pay.
Yeah, but UFGT, the thing people need to know about UFGT and just Keats in general is that Keats played a bunch of different games. People who just came into the scene or have been in the scene for the past like 4 or 5 years or whatever only know him for like Tatsunoko and that one guy that played MODOK and host of Wake Up SRK, but he played a bunch of different games in the earlier days. Like he and Josh the Funk Doc were like hands down the two best World Heroes Perfect players we had in the States. And it was just fun watching them too just destroy everyone who thought they were good at the game.
And the other thing I'll say about this, having gone to UFGT the last 2 years, Lord, that's a mouthful. That basically the tournaments just run so that people have fun going.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might say, "Oh, I don't like the rules," and blah blah blah. It's like, well, then you don't have to go. The people who do go have a lot of fun. The fun and games room, I don't actually even do anything in it, but a lot of people have fun with the different games they have. The auction tournaments are always a lot of fun. You get a lot of people who are really excited to just bet really ridiculous amounts of money on like Blanca and SF4. I don't understand. There's a $50 Blanca one year, and I was really thrown.
When I first heard that, I'm like, oh wait, they did a bidding tournament for CVS 2? That was the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, oh hey, that's cool. Good shit.
$50 Blanca in CVS 2 might be a value.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little bit more than $50.
Oh, you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
No, I liked
It's good.
I liked the year, or I think it was not last year, but the year before when they did the KOF 13 bidding, where they just had set teams.
Yeah.
I like that, and I wish I was there because if I remember right, one of the teams was like Ralph Takuma Vice. I'm like, yo, that's my team. I could do that. Or screw Vice, but I mean, I got the other two.
Put her on point, man. Battery.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did that with Marvel as well, where it was just they picked random teams out of a hat, and then you bid on that team.
Oh, I missed out on that.
It was random teams with set assists, so it would be like each of the characters was in a hat, and the character would have a specific assist that wasn't necessarily their best assist, and you just pick three, and it's like, this is the team, you got to go with it. So stuff like that's a lot of fun, even if people only want to go for the hard-hitting, heavily competitive tournaments, you know, Marvel or Street Fighter. There's a lot of other stuff to do, a lot of other people to play, and honestly, I've always had a lot of fun. It's always a your mileage may vary situation. Some people haven't, but it's been worth it for me to fly from California to Chicago the last couple of years to go.
I bet. If I can get my hands in a mystery game tournament, I think I'd guarantee myself top 8.
As long as, like, part of that is Waku Waku 7?
Well, yeah, that's the game everyone's going to get crushed in, but I mean...
Grand Finals is Waku Waku 7. Oh, man. Got it, baby.
Nah. Yeah, it's just...
No,
it wouldn't matter. Rule sets, controls, game, it didn't matter. I'll just beat everyone.
Oh, damn. You're hard like that?
You know, I'm pointing, I'm calling the home run right now.
But that's cool. I mean, like, me and Gibby go to all these tournaments, and, like, you know, short of, like, him talking to me while I'm coming off a hangover, there's really not a lot to do after you finish playing games, you know? So, yep. I would like to go to UFGT sometime, or any Midwest tournament, really, because it sounds like they actually play shit other than, you know, what's being ran in brackets.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of being ran in brackets, like, the other thing that's neat about UFGT is that if you do happen to win one of the main tournaments, you get a special treat at the end. You actually get a trophy, and it's not just, you know, hey, best soccer player of the year trophy. No, it's like last year Keats gave out a Nagro Crag. The year before that, the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't think he's announced what it's going to be this year, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good.
No, yeah, he hasn't. But I mean, with the X motif, I'm hoping there's something cool. Because it looks a little futuristic, so maybe some kind of Mega Man thing, or maybe even just big X's would be neat. So we'll see what they go with.
What if the winners just get a case of Dos Equis?
Humbag will try to win every tournament.
Oh yeah, Humbag will win everything. I mean, he will pay people to lose to him.
Just want the beer, man.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, man, just give me the beer. It'll be fine. Yeah. But so with that said, UFGT will be again at the end of May. This coming May, 23rd through the 25th. And the interesting thing is that the last few years, UFGT has been on the road to EVO, but this year, no one's sure, because the road to EVO is changing, as according to Mr. Wizard, and we're still up in the air on how that and how the EVO games list is going to shake out. Mm-hmm. So we don't even know how many games they plan on running this year, which is another interesting thing, because they ran more last year, I believe, than they've ever run. And people are wondering what's going to shake out for this year's EVO. And I kind of would like some of y'all opinions on what will be there and what won't be there.
Well, I'll go first, because I have an opinion that we will, of course, have the big three. Street Fighter, Marvel, and KOF. That's just me, though. I think I told you that, guys. I told you this last year, but yeah. But some of my opinions have changed, because I still think KOF will be in there in some capacity, but I'm not sure if, you know, it's kind of shaky at this point, because usually we look at Road to EVO, and whatever's on Road to EVO is at EVO. And now that we have that taken away, we're just kind of like, what the hell? And so it could... I'm trying to think what else is relevant, I guess you could say. What else is new? What else could they put in its place? We know they're getting one anime game, and it could be Blaze Blue CP.
I think at this point it has to be.
Yeah.
Blaze Blue CP. And I don't mean that just because I think this is Blaze Blue's attempt to their time to shine, as it were. I think it's because with Xrd not coming out in arcades till March, and the console version of Persona 4 Arena 2 not scheduled until this summer, I just don't think there's time for anything else.
No.
And with BlazBlue CP being the new game, it's high definition. It's definitely prettier than Guilty Gear Plus R. I think that's likely what we'll be playing.
And the other thing is, it's going to be experiencing like a double release basically, because with the import, it actually had a massive blow up for an import game, and when it gets localized, it should be even bigger.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that we're actually getting a real localization on this game. Not the Plus R problems of, well, we've got it on Xbox, but we don't have it on PS3.
Right.
And like you said, for an import game, a lot of the people who play Air Dashers have already picked it up. Mm-hmm. Not everybody, of course, but there's a pretty big install base. I mean, at a tournament between Christmas and New Year's in Chicago, Illinois, we got more than 60 people to play BlazBlue. That's pretty good, considering people didn't want to deal with the weather. People are out there for their families. I'd say that's a pretty good indication of where this game could be going, especially with us getting an American release.
Yeah, and like some people were saying in chat, Plus R just kind of being a fart in the wind right now.
Yeah.
So that might just not even be a possibility. But I mean, like, I'm planning on picking up CP. I don't know if I'll be able to take it that seriously. I'm not good at anything. But yeah, that's my idea. And then my other guess would be Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I'm actually a little. So I'm interested in a couple things. The KI question to me is still up in the air because KI is not drawing numbers right now. Not in any real way that I've seen.
That's true. I actually have not seen that many tournaments for. Like, a lot of people are talking about it. I'll give it that. It's definitely on the tip of a lot of people's tongues. It's just not on the tip of their fingertips.
Yeah, and I can't tell if that's because people don't want to play it or because people can't play it because the Xbox One costs $1 million.
Right.
I think it's the latter. Just when people are very interested in the game, even those who bashed the living hell out of the game before it came out. But now, like, I see people at the run back playing it all the time. New people, people just keep talking about it in a positive way, which is good for the game. But the fact that they have to pay, what is it? We came up with a number. It was about $800
$700
for stick, game, and console after tax. So.
Yeah,
but not everyone has that kind of money.
But the problem becomes, is it just going to be like Guilty Gear used to be, where people talk about wanting to play it, and they'll play it if it's free, but they won't play it in tournament?
Yeah.
It could be.
Because, like you said, I do see a lot of people play casuals at Super when we're up there, but you get into the tournament, and there's 8 people.
Yeah.
It's so weird because like here in NorCal, there's definitely people talking about it. And I see people playing at the last double KO event we had. We didn't have a tournament for it, but there were definitely people that were like, yo, let's get on this Killer Instinct, and I'm just like, where the fuck are you guys coming from?
Yeah.
Where was all this when it was like I haven't LPN's on it, and we all know how I feel about LPN, but seeing him play something other than Cross Tekken is very impressive.
Those you mentioned, what was it, like 8 people to enter Killer Instinct at the local tournament here at Super Arcade?
Mm.
Those are only the 7 bravest warriors that are willing to face the one, the only online warrior himself. Hold on, I wrote the name down somewhere.
We'll wait.
What's his name? Maximilian? He's like Latino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, really? That's a
sick name, dude. Why didn't I come up with that? Writing that down.
Yeah, man. You better patent that before he steals it.
Yeah. He's gonna take it. He's gonna have Doom wear a sombrero next time.
But yeah, I could see Microsoft getting behind it and maybe getting some people just to play in it and say it's not necessarily free, but it's not as much as the other tournaments maybe, and so it's kind of worth your while, if you just want to get into a relatively cheap tournament, possibly win more than you put in, basically.
Yeah.
But
and the other big question I had is 3D game. So Tekken Tag 2 seems the obvious choice, but Tekken Tag 2 did not draw in terms of entrance very well for EVO last year. It's still a game that gets played a lot, and it's still going to do well at final round, but so obviously I think at EVO it did better than probably every other tournament, maybe aside from final round. I think they got 250 or 270, which is a good number for a normal tournament, but is that up to the standards that EVO wants? And if it's not, what game would you put there even? Soul Calibur 2 HD?
Yo, I'm down.
I was gonna say that, yeah. Like, because I think Soul Calibur has a pretty good ratio of like, or it's got a pretty good crossover between Tekken and like Soul Calibur players, right? Because like a lot of those people play the same game, but not a lot of Soul Calibur players play Tekken.
Yeah.
So,
but the issue becomes is are people going to show up?
I don't know, man. Like the Soul Calibur 2 or the Soul Calibur community here is pretty cool about showing up. Like I give those guys mad respect. Like they'll come out on a shoestring budget and rock it. So more power to them. But I don't know if that's like nationwide or not.
Yeah.
Super got a decent turnout when they ran their like relatively impromptu tournament for Soul Calibur 2. I think over 20.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Definitely saw a couple people I haven't seen in nearly a decade, so that was pretty cool.
If they wanted to resurrect the corpse of Sega, they could put VF in there.
I don't think VF's just not going to ever be big in America.
Yeah, VF never took off here.
It makes me cry.
You know what, Anthony? It was because you didn't support the game.
Yeah.
It was only because you didn't. You didn't leave your house to go play VF. That's why nobody plays it.
Wait a minute. Did you entered the VF tournament at NCRX, right?
Yeah.
I like how you just says. Yeah. It's the most dejection ever.
I mean, it was cool. It was. I enjoyed myself, but it's just. I guess it didn't matter. VF's just never gonna have staying power.
It's not your fault, man. That Sega's bad. They just.
It's not even Sega's fault. It's like people are like, oh, it's like because first of all, it's a combination of, VF being like a 3D game and then having the SNK King of Fighter syndrome. Oh, that game's cool and I'd like to learn how to play it, but it's too hard. And it's like, what is hard about this game? Especially Final Showdown. I think there's so much more streamlined in that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that game.
I don't play Final Showdown like I play any of the other VFs. There's a lot more there's a lot more risky shit involved.
But Tony, I can't do perfect one-frame giant swings every time.
Oh no!
Why even bother playing Wolf?
Because you could just do Burning Hammer.
Actually, my real problem is I couldn't do drop kick consistently.
Really?
But that was definitely in 4th. So that also I was, God knows how old at the time.
You know what baffled me though about that is that how few Taka Arashis I actually saw. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I mean, in my mind, if a game has a good sumo wrestler character, I'll play it. But I don't know. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, so 3D's kind of like in trouble then, huh?
Yeah, and the only other game it could be is DOA 5, and that's not going to happen.
I haven't seen anything for that. Like, other than like, hey, a new DOA 5 update's coming out. And I'm like, that game came out?
The biggest news I hear about DOA 5 is, look at this new costume pack. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is silly. And then that's it.
Yep.
So, I don't know. They might just have to pick one and like, just pray basically that people show up. And I think it should be Tekken Tag 2.
The interesting thing I've been sort of mulling over in my head is what if they just don't do one? Because a lot of the people who would be showing up for one of those games also take part in either the KI or the Injustice MK communities. So what if they could just basically hedge their bets and say, well, we're just not going to run a 3D game this year because we're still going to get those people anyway. I don't know that that's a likelihood, but it's something I've been thinking.
I mean, that would be a good option. That's a good way to, like, keep people happy without, sort of killing one of your own time slots. Because you want everything to be firing on all cylinders.
A quick aside, I just realized something. Those 3 games that you just lumped together there all kind of share the same fan base, right?
Yeah.
KI, Mortal Kombat, Injustice. Aren't those the only 3 modern games that have like large amounts of blood in the gameplay?
I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can we just call those blood fighters from now on, just to like brush them off their own little thing?
No, I'm not doing that. No.
I'm pretty sure that's what they called them back in the 90s. Like, some Midwestern soccer mom was just all like, oh, no more blood fighters.
Bone store.
Thrillo.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be because obviously I assume Injustice is coming back. That's the assumption. But is that even written in stone at this point?
The problem with Injustice was the room was dead.
Yeah, they were.
Like-
Everybody was dead. The players were dead. The crowd was dead. I'll tell you what's coming back is Smash.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
Oh.
Smash is a game that has to come back.
I assume they're going to run Melee unless the Wii U one is really amazing.
When does the
But-
Wii U one come out?
That's the thing is we don't know yet.
Oh, well, that's Melee.
But the question is, if they do have the new Smash, it's also on the 3DS. So what's the definitive version? Because the stages are different, apparently, between some of them. They have exclusive stages.
We'll have to have 2 different
Yeah,
tournaments.
man, I don't think that anybody wants to deal with that.
How do you stream off a 3DS?
You have to buy a capture card from a guy in Utah.
Yeah.
Not even joking.
I know. Well, okay, so let's assume they don't do a 3D game. They put Melee into that slot, and it becomes like the new, the new regular thing.
Okay, so let's say what we got so far. We have Street Fighter, we have Marvel, we have probably BlazBlue, we have Smash. That's 4.
And then, I mean, I guess you
Maybe
could
they
just,
maybe they do 2 more games to do 6.
Yeah, I could see that. They could probably put in, KOF. Just saying. Then we got 5 games. The last game could be.
I think it'll be Injustice.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
they'd probably like put Skullgirls ahead of that.
Really?
What were the numbers last year for?
Justice?
Injustice did pretty good numbers
Yeah,
last year.
Injustice
as I
had
recall.
about between 520 and 650. I want to say between 520 and 600. Because it didn't have more than Smash. But it
What
did
am I
have
thinking?
more
Oh,
than
it was
just
MK. MK was the one that had like.
Yeah, MK's
Yeah,
not coming
yeah.
back.
No, I don't think MK will be back. But Injustice could make it back based on its performance last year. And I think people are still keeping up with it, too. It's not like it's dying.
No, yeah, Injustice has a steady player base. I don't think it's necessarily growing, but I don't think it's shrinking either.
Yeah.
I do think the most recent overhaul helped the game a lot because it took away Superman Forever for always, for first place, for second place, for third place, for 4th through 8th place. You don't have to think. Don't worry.
Wait, is this real? Are they actually going to have a charity lineup thing, maybe? Or they could possibly do that? Remember like that one year where they said vote your game in? And they voted Melty Blood
Yeah,
in?
That was
Well-
4 years ago
Yeah.
when Melty made it.
Yeah, it was 08, 09, something like that. Maybe it was 010.
I can see
Might
them
have
doing
been
that this year.
I guess they could.
It wouldn't really take away, especially if they're hurting for like a last game and they're just like, well, nobody's going to be able to agree on anything, so let's leave it up to like, the Democrats basically. And
Well, I'm thinking like I really did kind of enjoy last year that they had kind of like official side games. Like maybe they could have like some of these big, mainstay games and then like we can have something like Guilty Gear and Persona and BlazBlue, but BlazBlue is the main game and then the side games still get some time in the sun,
yeah.
Like official side tournaments
Well,
instead
maybe
of
they
just
could
like
make like a High Roller Guilty Gear tournament as an official side tournament.
yeah, or something. I don't know, just
Well, and that's a thought, though, is that we've talked about 5 games that we think would make it. What if the 6th game is vote, basically? Is it going to be KI? Is it going to be, like, Tag 2? Is it going to be, it goes on and on. Could be Cross Tekken. I mean, there are a lot of games.
Oh yeah, that game.
Hey, people apparently still play that game. I'm just
I know
saying.
people do, but it's just funny that it
totally
slipped
glossed
my-
over. Yeah.
I was like, people still play that game, and admittedly, it's sometimes kind of fun to watch, but it definitely just glazed over it.
Yeah.
I remember actually somebody tweeted to Mr. Wizard today saying that it got more entrants than KOF. I think they said it got more entrants than Justice too.
No, I think it was close to Injustice, but
Close to
under.
Justice. Well, it still got a pretty sizable entry, so it's still possible that people would show up for it, and it would be part of the main lineup. But would anybody want to watch it? I don't know. That's kind of a 50-50 there.
All right, so
And this. Oh, go.
now go ahead, Tony. Mine's.
I was just gonna say the 6th game, CVS2. It's coming back, folks.
So here's the
Oh,
thing.
God.
So this past weekend at Duper, I definitely ran past a Mr. Let's say he's of the magical variety, a mage, if you will, a Mr. Mage,
Okay.
wears orange and such. And I overheard him, and I didn't get the entirety of the conversation, but I was able to infer a lot from the few words that I did hear. So I clearly heard hate and 3S. So I figured out from this posture and the way he said it that what he meant to say, or what I was supposed to overhear clearly, was I hate that 3S isn't at EVO anymore. So I'm pretty sure, guys, this is the year.
It's not coming back. It's never
God
coming
damn
back. Thank God. Thank
That's
God
a-
that game is never coming back.
Team Z's dead forever. You should know that.
That's
You're
some,
dead.
That's some crack reporting there, Alex. What a scoop.
What a scoop, right?
Yeah.
I honestly think the only game that I think is in question is KOF.
Yeah.
Because KOF, it's done really well in terms of international competition the last few years, and it's been really good finals, but the American scene is not supporting it by and large.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is after we won it last year. This is after Reynolds wins, and part of the reason, well, a lot of the reason why people thought it kind of went into sleep status after 2012 was because Bala lost and everybody had the win taken out of their sails, and they were just like, fuck it. And then it kind of picked up steam a little bit. It wasn't nowhere near as good as it was in 2012, and we hit EVO in 2013 and had excellent grand finals. Reynolds takes it home. People are super hyper and happy and whatnot, and then it just kind of started dying out. And there was really no reason for it, because it wasn't like there was anything else to play.
Well, and what's interesting is when I was at Frosty Faustings, it seemed like there was actually a pretty decent turnout. It didn't seem huge, but it seemed like there was a lot of people who were still excited to play the game and enjoy it.
Mhm.
It honestly just seems like the West Coast, maybe only the West Coast, just doesn't leave their houses to play it.
I believe
I was
that.
going to bring up the game has decent turnout everywhere except for the West Coast now.
And so
and it
I
does-
think it's shifting. That's basically what
And
I'm
by,
saying.
by West Coast, I just mean California, because Seattle actually still has decent tournaments. The Northwest gets numbers. And by numbers, I
So-
don't mean big numbers. I mean all the players from that region show.
So essentially, not Cali. All of not Cali plays it.
Basically, where it got started at, we're done. And I expected that to happen. Honestly, I expected it to just be like either people were going to get inspired and they were going to want to play, all the top players that were in NorCal and SoCal, well, just SoCal really, and well, I guess you can count LeBon. And then it was just going to balloon, and it kind of did what happened that way, except it happened in places that we couldn't even reach these people. They were like Midwest, East Coast, down south. And now I see them with really pretty decent KOF turnouts at their majors, and that's good. But I'm sitting here thinking like, man, what are our majors going to look like this year? Like we got SCR, we got NCR. Like, are people even going to show up to these for KOF?
Here's what you do. You give out another free shirt, but you limit it to the first 200 people that arrive to pick up their badge that are in King of Fighters.
That's pretty much what they did the first time.
But there's a limit on the t-shirts, so it's even more imperative to get there earlier.
You stop.
Birds.
Well, one thing with KOF, all the biggest tournaments for KOF have been outside of California.
That's true too.
If I remember right, last year or 2 years ago, UFGT, they had about 100 final round 2 years ago had nearly 200 at about 180. Last year it was at about 80 to 100. Most of the East Coast majors get about 70 to 80 for it. In California, SCR the past 2 years we had about 76 to 82. The first year was 76. The following year, from what I'm told, without the inflated numbers by double entries and stuff, I'm told it was 82, 81, 82.
Yeah.
NCR the first year was also 76, but the following year was 40. No, it was 52, I think, after late entries.
Yeah, it wasn't too many.
And I'm not going to say that was because all of NorCal quit because they got beat down really bad. No, actually, that is exactly what I'm going to say.
That's kind of what happened. I mean,
Well,
like, they
most of
didn't give
NorCal
up. They didn't
but
give
NorCal
up.
did
We had
show.
some bright spots. We had Fixel, BBZ, but personal things just took them away from it, Like, Fixel had to get a job. Still has to get a
No,
job.
I know. I'm honestly just making fun of you, Chris.
No, I know. And in BBZ's case, BBZ went back to Japan and leveled up out there, and then he came back here, and nobody was doing shit. So he was like, "Great, I'm just gonna go back to delivering Chinese food."
If you look at the tournament, the majority of people who entered were NorCal.
Yeah.
It's not that NorCal didn't show; it's just that other regions didn't show. Like the previous year at NCR, there were a good chunk of people from Seattle, Oregon, and SoCal. This year, it's like you look at it, it's like, oh, hey, cool, there's all these people. Oh, and there's this random guy from, what's this, Philly, I guess, Pittsburgh? And then that guy ends up going far as hell in the tournament, taking out, like, one of the biggest names in the tournament. It's like, oh, I like this guy. Yeah, it was just pretty dead. Like, people, I don't know why. People have told me SCR this year is going to be the biggest King of Fighters tournament outside of Evo ever, and I don't get it.
If Mexico shows up,
well, yeah, if Mexico shows up, it'll be good. That doesn't mean it'll be big. There's a good chunk of people who just stop playing the game. If they do play it, they don't go out to play it anywhere. They don't stream. They don't do anything outside of playing with their friends at home or something. But I do know that a good chunk of people who played KOF 13 have stopped. Because I've talked to these people, they told me why they stopped, and most of them are here in SoCal.
Yep.
So
most of us are in this cast.
Well, I've always had an issue with 13. You know me, it's just not 98. Simple as that. But I don't tell people not to play it. I just personally don't like it. I support it, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of people who just stopped playing it, and that's going to affect the numbers this year. Right. And on top of that, with 20 games at SCR, it's like, oh, wait, I've been playing Soul Calibur 2 since I downloaded it, and I don't know, I want my $10. I'm going to be spending a lot of money on all these different games. I got to juggle all these different games. Let's see what I'm going to do.
Well, no, that's an interesting thing. Did you guys discuss that at all? The possibility of tournaments just being thinned out really bad by the number of games at SCR?
Yes, 8-man Tekken Tag 2 tournament, Mortal Kombat tournament with about 10, 12 people, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, man. I hadn't really even thought about it until you just said it, but I think that really will happen to some extent.
Yeah, it will. And it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So people are going to have to basically decide what they want to play more than something else, and the other game is going to suffer. And, I mean, really what it is like, it's just a conglomerate of a lot of games that could have just been fine side tournaments, And they instead, for SCR at least, they included them all in the lineup. So that's really going to burn a lot of numbers off. But as far as KOF at EVO, like you said, there's going to be the international talent that shows up, or a lot of people that you normally wouldn't even hear about, because they have no interest in a lot of the other games. It's gotten so big elsewhere in America that, Korea, Cafe Id's running its own record-breaking tournament, basically, Things turning into friggin' Bloodsport.
I wouldn't call it record-breaking, because the tournament hasn't happened yet.
Record-breaking for KOF.
Yeah, I guess. Depending on how you look at it. Because, the Vuelix cab and KOF 12, that Reynolds one, at the time, was more than 10K.
Well, that was back when who was that? Ignition?
Ignition held that tournament.
Yeah, that was back when. See, like I feel like if Ignition had promoted 13, it would have been fine.
Ignition did 12.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They actually had events for it.
Anyway, no, an event, not events, an event.
Oh, they had an event, and somebody won something, and it was worth money.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Halo 13, you got a free T-shirt for paying money.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think that a game should need that to actually succeed.
Yeah, it should. But like I said, there's definitely a pool of players that will, Evo should be interested in showing up. That will show up for KOF 13 and won't show up for anything else.
Yeah.
No, I think that's accurate. I do think that there are people who only would show up to Evo for KOF.
The things KOF has going for it, international talent, just everyone that I talk to seems to say, yeah, the hype is finals, grand finals, top 8, and stream numbers. It gets bigger. It gets more numbers than some of the other big games that aren't Capcom games and or not Capcom games, but like they're not Street Fighter, Marvel, and Smash. Those 3 games will destroy KOF in terms of viewership and entries. But
that was another thing I wanted to talk. Sorry, keep going if you wanted to.
The other thing is KOF entries last year were at 4. I think it was like 420 to 480. So it's a huge dive from the previous year with the shirts. So Chris,
well, I mean, if you look at it, it was like 1,000 entrants, 600 buys, and then roughly.
They don't have to know that, man.
Plus, the competition was definitely a lot more rigorous last year.
Right.
So that was really nice to see that everybody that was still playing and seemed to have gotten a lot stronger.
But yeah, another thing, like I said, with
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I had Mad KOF and Shanghai in my pool the first year.
I actually had Shanghai in 2013, and he destroyed me with the mop. Gave me the mop. But Melee is something that may end up outgrowing the FGC before we even get a chance to include them, because they're doing their own thing, and I feel like they're not reviving themselves, but they're definitely experiencing some kind of second renaissance.
This is like their renaissance, basically.
Yeah. They're doing documentaries. They're getting entertaining offers from esports.
Well, I think what you have to realize is that this is something that's been happening. It's just, it looks different to us because nobody ever paid attention.
Yeah.
Smash has always had good numbers. It's always had a scene that cared. And it took Evo last year for the fighting game community at large to just say, well, shit, you guys are over there playing that game. That's crazy. We didn't even know people played that. But this is nothing new for them.
No.
It's not like they haven't been putting up good numbers when they could have tournaments. It's just they haven't always had that opportunity. I mean, obviously, you look at Apex in New York started as a Smash tournament. They just happened to run other things there. And now it's a tournament that there's a bunch of things being run there.
Right.
So I think Smash will be happy to be part of Evo if it's included, and they'll be fine, and it won't even hurt them if they're not. I think that's how it is.
Right.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before where we've all agreed that Smash doesn't need Evo or the fighting game scene, but the fighting game scene will benefit greatly from having Smash.
Right, but I think a lot of the thing is I don't want to stir any pots here, but sometimes people think this game deserves to be on main stage over this game, and a lot of people are probably going to say, they still say Smash ain't a fighting game, so why is it here? Why is it getting top billing over X game? And we can grow.
I think mostly that's gone now.
Yeah, it has to be after last year's top 8, where Smash was the loudest I heard. I mean, nothing was louder than Smash from what I heard.
Nothing.
So, it had great numbers, good entry, and the entire crowd was just nuts over it. There's no reason for people to say, "Oh, this, I play King of Fighters, I play Tekken, I play such and such. Our game deserves to be ahead of this. Why do we get the 8 a.m. slot and Smash gets the afternoon slot?"
For somebody who's been playing fighting games for more than a decade, watching Smash Finals at EVO reminded me of the way finals for other games were years ago.
Yeah.
They were yelling. They were just having a good time. and it was legitimately exciting. Watching Ice Climbers make it to top 3, that's pretty cool.
And Ice Climber's actually a really good character in that game.
Well, you gotta wobble though.
That's really. But I've said this before. I don't remember if I said it on the show, but I definitely have said it in the chat before. But there was that one guy who every time when Fox did his up B, he yelled out "Fire!" after. I really wanted to get up and punch him in the face just because I was so annoyed. I'm like, I get it. He's saying that move. I hear him saying it. You don't have to mimic it every time. Could you do it in unison? So I only have to hear it once. I was getting irked. But other than that,
hey, you know what? To be honest, I get really annoyed that every time Rufus does his ultra, everybody raises their hands in the air and yells "Boo!" Okay, so you can suck it up from that one guy yelling "Fire." All right.
Oh, you're complaining about the fire, dude? I'm still mad at people that try to do the AAA to any kind of like juggle, and they don't know the timing for it.
I was gonna bring that up. That shit drives me insane.
Yeah.
What about the Akuma air fireball shit that happened at the end of AE finals?
No, I'm fine with that.
That was cool.
That was actually that was spontaneous. That's why that was funny.
That brought the point home.
Who started that? Because I heard some dude just yell that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he is like he." I'm like, "Is he like choking or something?" And then somebody else started doing it. They were just like, "Oh God, all these people are choking."
But yeah, Smash is really exciting. It's a really execution heavy game, and the people who are really good at it have worked their asses off to be as good as they are. So, props to them. And we took way too many years to shit on those guys.
We were sorry.
And it's time for us to suck it up and just go, okay, well you guys were right.
To be fair, they were those little brothers that wanted to hang out with you and your friends, but then they grew up, and now they're one of the gang.
Yeah, that's kind of accurate.
They proved themselves instead of just being like, "Oh, this is in blah blah blah," and complaining, "Oh, my game should be in," even though I don't support it. They're like, "Well, we're just gonna continue doing our thing." And hey, guess what? That game's 10 years old now, and they're still playing it. Holy moly!
Isn't it like
the new version came out. It wasn't any good. They went back to the old version. Looking at you, Street Fighter. Looking at you, Marvel.
Pass this up, man. They're the Eli Mannings to our Peyton.
Yeah. They didn't give up. That's an interesting story, is that even when everybody took time to shit on them and say Smash isn't a fighting game, instead of complaining about it, I mean, some people did, but they had their rights. Everybody else was just like, all right, well, okay, we're just going to go keep playing the game then, so I guess screw you guys.
Yeah.
That being said, a lot of Smash players that started out with Smash now play many other games because they realize that you can actually play more than one game.
Yeah.
And they realized it before us? Fuck.
I've always known that you can play more than one game. It's stupid just
But
to
why
pigeonhole.
bother,
They just
man?
really don't enjoy the other ones. I can understand that. But it's like, oh man, I hate Marvel 3. I'm going to complain about this game so much. And then I'm going to go play it still.
Signs up for Marvel 3. Yeah.
Ugh. Disgusting.
That's neither here nor there.
Did you push up your glasses up to your nose?
I hope
while
you
you were
did.
doing that, where you're like, actually.
The metagame is ruined by Morrigan, whereas the rushdown base teams can't do anything about fireballs hitting them in the butt.
Is that what? What?
That Cosmo?
I don't know. I'm certain that's a post on SRK somewhere.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but speaking of people coming out to support their respective communities and junk, this week we have Awesome Games Done Quick being streamed for all the hours of the week.
I'd like to thank all of you for actually tuning into this podcast, because I almost didn't join this podcast because I was watching Awesome Games Done Quick instead.
They're probably watching both.
Yeah,
I came
that's
late because I forgot what I was supposed to be doing.
I'm just saying, I'm watching both right now.
Yeah, they're probably listening to us while they have the Awesome Games on Quick muted while watching that.
Yeah.
There's more visual going on there. I do stuff like that all the time.
So somebody
What's
Somebody
running
put-
right now? Is it still the FPS block?
Yeah, it's the FPS blocker.
Oh, okay. So I don't care.
So somebody clue me in. I was at work the whole day. How did Yoshi eat the baby?
I missed
Oh,
that.
no,
actually. I
no,
missed the
you
glitch
do
run.
not want to know how Yoshi ate the baby. I do not know why that game is rated E for everyone. Yoshi should not be eating babies. Okay.
Hey, man, you ever heard that baby Mario cry for more than 2 minutes?
Yeah, I have.
Ugh.
Holy Lord.
Yeah,
No, I missed the glitch run, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, the glitch runs are probably the most entertaining. I think today's the second day, so there's still 5 more days to go, and they're going to be ending it with a bang with Chrono Trigger, 100%, not 100% run, but full run, where they just go through the entire game, do everything. Not all the endings, but get the longest to get ending, I guess you could say.
So, well, they can't do the special ending because they have to like.
Yeah, they'd have to beat it all the times.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I saw some people complain that there are no fighting games in there.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like, wait, I'm
what?
going to speed run a fighting game? All right, I mean, it's possible. It's something that people would like to see, but not
Maybe.
very entertaining.
Was that statement followed up with a kappa?
I have blocked out all smileys.
I have image blocks set on my computer so that I can no longer see the Twitch smileys. So
Those things drive me insane. I do not want to see them ever again.
What if they did like a Tekken 3, Tekken 4 speedrun?
that's horrible, man. Nobody wants to see that.
That one gets really boring.
Her guys?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure mode.
Oh my god.
You know,
That's definitely
all of those fighting game adventure modes are 201 terrible.
Yeah.
Just unbelievably, really, like Devil
Wait, hold
Within
on.
mode in Tekken
Okay,
5.
listen, you're
Hold on.
sitting here bashing the ring that God blessed.
I was about to.
That's what you're doing right now, Paul.
My lord.
If you keep going, I'm going to set you on fire.
See, Gibby's
I'm
going in the
going
right
to-
direction.
I'm
what
about
if we
to
go
kick you
into
from this call for talking about air guys.
toe ball? 2.
Toe ball, too?
Oh my god.
Can we not do this?
Yeah, but there are people who actually do speedrun Ergi's dungeon mode.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that.
That's dope.
It's it's all randomly generated. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I have seen a few people do it, and it's fun. I mean, I like the game, so it helps. It helps me enjoy it a lot more.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm just gonna say, if you want to play a fighting game and an adventure game, just play Guardian Heroes.
Yeah.
What if I want to play Guilty Gear Judgment?
Just play Guardian Heroes.
You can
What
also,
if I want to boot you out of this call right now?
you're saying that. I mean, they can also do Sengoku 3.
Yeah, they can just play Sengoku 3, or
Oh, Sengoku 3 is pretty.
Yeah, Sengoku 3 is sick.
you could play River City Ransom Underground when it finally comes out.
Actually, I've been looking at some more stuff for that because I think there was an article for one of the Japanese gaming sites, and they were just kind of explaining it again. I'm like, oh yeah, this game, I actually really do want to play it. I want to see because they're trying to say they're keeping it close to the original as well and whatnot. So
You're talking about the Famitsu article?
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They actually, the developers for River City Ransom Underground actually released a statement on New Year's Eve saying they actually hadn't met their year-end goal because of varying things. I'm sure probably holidays or whatever, but they're still committed to putting the game out and keeping it close to the original. But they have admitted that they're not really sure how to do that because you're basically working backwards with a wealth of technology that wasn't available at the time, and so you're probably slapping yourself on the hand to keep yourself from doing something too outlandish, basically.
Yeah, it's hard when you have all those resources to keep your resources to a minimum. Like,
Yeah.
what was used to make this game as good as it was? Well, we had a toaster, a dot matrix printer, and some chopsticks.
Right.
Well, now we have 3D modeling. Huh.
Would 3D modeling look good in this? It would, but would it be River City Ransom? No. So,
Pretty much. Yeah,
But other than that, I can't think of anything other than the fact that you're all playing Bravely Default and being goobers.
hold on, Brady
game's tight as fuck.
There is one thing I wanted to bring up. Paul, Alex, you two were there. This past weekend, Super Arcade did the remix tournament
Yeah.
for Marvel 2 and Marvel 3. You guys go into how it was?
It was pretty packed. I'm glad to see there was a lot of people neither Alex nor I had seen in a while. Older SoCal players, just people came out, play Marvel 2, play Marvel 3, play games they love, and, take a little bit of time, put a little money to support the family of somebody who left us way too early. So it was a good event, and I hope that I didn't actually see how much money was eventually raised overall, but I hope it's enough to get his family past the financial burden.
I know they met their goal on the WePay thing, or I forgot the exact site they used, but they met their goal on that thanks to the 2 tournaments they held this past weekend, because they did one in the East Coast as well.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that stream, though.
Yeah, I was obviously at Super, so I missed it as well.
I was able to catch the Super stream, and I really want to say, and I'm not joking when I say this, Justin Wong and Bill Wellman together on the mic for Marvel 2 is probably the 2 best people you can have for that game.
Oh yeah.
Just so much knowledge and just information from the past is being dropped just right on you, and they both know everyone because you had Justin, who was around in the old days for the East Coast, and then Bill, who was around in the old days in the West Coast. They know all the players.
And they both traveled extensively to Marvel too.
And it was great listening to the 2 of them. And then Justin had to jump off the mic because he said if they played the match with Justin or with him and Sue Mighty beating him, he was gonna leave. And he's a man of his word. He didn't jump back on the mic.
Did you know Sue was so high during that match, he actually thought that Justin had another character, which is why he kept snapping him. This is a matter of public record, folks. He wasn't trying to style. He genuinely thought Justin had another character.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You kept getting it though, right?
Actually, I was going to ask a question, Gibby, since you might know. Where's Spartan from again?
Spartan? I'm not sure.
Isn't he part of... He's NoCal? Because I'm asking you, because I remember him being from, like, the shitty area.
Yeah, I think there's a chance he's from Bakersfield area. I'm not, I know. I'm not 100% sure, but hey, Bakersfield's better than Lancaster.
That's still... Everything's better than Lancaster.
Skid Row might be better than Lancaster.
That's a fact.
I've been to Skid Row. Those people feel bad for me. So, I want to say somewhere around this area. Like, he's within like 45, 50 minutes from me is what I think.
Yeah, like what impresses me is that he won, and there wasn't like any doubt that he was consistent. And then this guy's just been somebody that's played from the most backwater of areas for the past decade.
Just honing his
and it's
craft.
just always impressing to me. Yeah, it's just like, you know what? I chose my life. I'm going to stick with it. And then when these tournaments come around, I'm going to be king shit.
Yep.
It's true.
That's cool.
That's what happens.
And Marvel 3 actually had some interesting things too, which was Cloud actually winning over Justin, which I don't know that they've played before.
I think the big shocker was Clock actually beating F-Champ.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I didn't even expect it. I certainly watched the first game and I was like, well, I know where this is going. Time to go.
Well, Daniel's going to lose again. Time to fall asleep.
Time to go play threes. Just kicking it. I know where this is going to go. And then come back and Josh is like, yo, I just came up on, a bet. I was like, well, who'd you bet on? Clock. Oh, man, did you swindle somebody? Like, switch out like, nah, dude, I totally bet on, F-Champ. Give me the money. But somehow Clock did it. And every now and then, Clock reminds me why I believe in him.
Wipes a single tear away.
Yeah.
Stares off into the distance.
The miracle pop-off.
One day, Clock will get me that lobster dinner I missed out on.
No, that's not happening.
Well.
Oh, man, knowing your luck, you probably developed an allergy.
I'll still eat it.
But yeah, I'm pooped for topics.
Well, there's one thing I want to bring up. Some of you who've been following the I Play Wonder channel ever since Hans used to run it would know that Hans used to do a weekly segment called the Daily Blow Up for Street Fighter 4. So after Hans left, Harrison took it upon himself to start doing Daily Blow Up, and now Hellpox and I are doing one as well. We did our first one this past weekend for King of Fighters 13. It was pretty enjoyable for the people who were in chat, and it's just us two playing and just bad-mouthing each other for the most part. The archive is up on YouTube, but we plan to do this on a regular basis. We haven't come up with a solid date yet, but we stream them. We stream them live, and the archive will always go up on YouTube. It's fun to watch, and it's fun to do. And also, Walkman, you plan to do one as well?
I'd like to. It's probably just going to be me going on Skullgirls ranked and getting, destroyed. But yeah, it'll give me a reason to play the game and, stuff to do. So if you guys want to see that.
Oh, and the games that Hale Pockets and I will be playing are games that he apparently doesn't know how to play because he wants to play me in all the old SNK games.
Yeah, because I'm the best SNK player in NorCal.
This is true. I can't argue this. I mean,
I can. I mean,
you want to come down here and prove it?
Come on, I'm not saying I am either. I'm just saying there's a couple.
Yeah, I was gonna say LeBron's up there, so never mind.
I'll play LeBron for his gas money.
Yeah,
expect I have gas money.
That's right. You can stay in stuff.
Nick's okay in some stuff, right? Mizuki.
I don't think he plays 13 though.
No, he does.
No, I'm just saying SNK games.
Yeah, because Hellpox and I are gonna just play SNK games in general, and I mean not just SNK stuff, but we're going to start out with SNK stuff and just do fan requests and see what people want us to play. And it'll be fun. There are some games that neither of us know how to play, and there are going to be some games that Hellpox knows how to play, and I'm just completely oblivious to. I have no idea how to play some games, and I just play games for fun now. I don't do anything competitively.
There's that word again.
Yeah, I know. My whole point of playing games is just to humiliate Hellpockets.
Yeah, and it works apparently because I was beside myself with grief for a solid hour and a half that we were doing that. So if you watch the archive, you may see a side of me that you have not yet seen before. Mm-hmm. And I'm ashamed to say that that's pretty much how I am all the time.
Yep.
Drunk?
I wasn't even drunk. I was just really mad.
Yeah, Paul, you need to just skim through it. There's no reason to watch it. You just skim through it.
Just watch every ending to every match.
Oh Lord, I don't know that I need to see Chris trying to break his stick on a stream.
Yeah, so just stay tuned for those. We'll just follow us on any of the channels or any of the Twitter accounts, and we'll just put up when we're on there. Like this past one, all three of the accounts, SDR, mine, and Hellpocket's accounts, tweeted it. We'll start getting them tweeted from the IPW account, just so those of you who don't follow any of us will be able to check them out. And same thing with Walkman. Hopefully, Skullgirls thing takes off. Maybe I don't know, this Sanchez guy could do one for Third Strike, or this here Super FX guy can do one for the Blaze. I don't know. We'll see.
Sanchez can just do a stream with me where he crushes me again in Skullgirls, but at least I learned something out of the experience.
I can also crush
your dreams.
Yes, that's true. I mean, you could help me learn Makoto and how to better utilize Hugo.
I studied under the best.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You
didn't study under Makoto, Mike. Come on.
I know. I was thought about it. I was like, man, I definitely played with Mike Z and Arlia, who were definitely.
I thought you were going to say you studied under a dice roll, because that's pretty much the best Makoto.
No. All right, sir. Are you saying that Makoto Mike was a gambler of chance? That he was a charlatan in his craft? That was pure skill, sir. Pure.
Nothing about Makoto mix-ups is pure skill.
Sir,
he was so confident that he wanted to lose.
That's what made beating him all the sweeter.
Let me put you up the game here, Paul. If you play Makoto, you're trying for mix-ups, you're going for grab resets and all that. When Makoto Mike does it, it's already confirmed to work. It's not a mix-up. This is a
you do realize I wasn't on the show because I didn't want to hear this, right?
Oh shit!
I'm doing it just for you, buddy.
I'm already over it. I'm already done. All right, let's roll credits. Let's get out of here before Alex does some more really dumb stuff.
I just want to confirm that it doesn't work against double tension Sekyutai.
Stop calling it that. It's magnetic storm. Stupid.
It is. Oh, my brain hurts. My brain hurts. All right, we're done here, right? We ain't got nothing else.
No, just follow IPW on all the social medias and the YouTubes and streaming sites. Be sure to check out the show that sucks with Hanzo Gonzo and Harrison tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Pacific. And the Fray should actually be back on to reveal the winners of the Horsehead Awards this week. Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, I believe.
Does anybody really win in that award show?
There might be some winners.
Yeah.
The viewers.
Yeah, they'll be the ones to do it mostly.
Yeah.
And as usual, you can follow all of us on Twitter starting with Sanchez at Mecha MacGyver. I'm not going to spell that. Lord Walkman, Manchest Gibby, just as Manchest, and then Hell Pockets. And then myself, Super FX with the OU as opposed to just a U. So
Telling you, man, you should just rock it, man. That's a total like.
I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. So for everybody here, thanks for listening tonight, and good night, and good luck.